My name is Deborah Dumanuco, and while I may sound like I have a developmental disability, all I have is MS, which has affected my speech. And it's horrible when people treat me like I'm different, or they won't give me the time to finish what I have to say. All I want is respect. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Nick Condalucci. I'm a member of the Center for Disability Rights. And I guess someone in this room made a mistake by saying a pretty nasty word. I heard one of the other speakers try to play the word off like it might have been used as a medical term. It wasn't used as a medical term. I heard the tapes, I heard it on the news. It wasn't used as a medical term. It was used in a degrading manner to hurt someone. And really, dang, if you said something like that, you really should come forward and apologize. Did you say it? Who did it? There's no way to get an answer out of you? I know you're shaking your head no, but I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, this word has been put out there.
Mr. President, point of order. I think you should inform the speaker that we are not allowed to respond to that.
There's no dialogue back and forth.
Yeah, the typical layman doesn't know your politics. Well, you hear your words, your policies. How am I supposed to know that? What else did I write down here? I wrote up a few different words like intolerance, indifference. These are things that'll become commonplace if you allow words like this to be used so openly. I mean, I have MS myself. Someday I'm going to probably be in the same situation as the legislator that just left. People cut you off. People don't want to give you the time to talk. People start seeing you shake. They call you things like retard. Not good. So, I mean, one of you is out there must know who said this word. Someone has to know who did it. Apologize. That's all the people that are afflicted by these mental disorders are asking of this legislation. And, you know, it's terrible that you would say such things and mean them in a derogatory fashion, not used medically. You know, another speaker said that we're all victims of violence. You know, and think of all those people that were just victims of violence through those words that are pretty violent. I don't know. I guess that's all I gotta say. That's all I can say. I'm too shaky. Thank you.
Stephanie Woodward, Chris Hildebrandt, and Ronald Raziolia.
about the word retard being used. I hope you all know that the word is completely unacceptable, and I'm embarrassed that any of you would say it, but I'm even more embarrassed to be represented by a group of legislators who don't feel that the word retard as a slur in legislator meetings is important enough to investigate. As Monroe County legislators, you represent a total of 710,000 residents. These residents have given you their trust and expect more of you. All of you need to respect the people who gave you your power and use that power to determine who used such derogatory language. I can respect a legislator who can step up and say he made a mistake and apologize. I cannot respect a group of legislators who will sit and do nothing and just wait for the issue to pass. So if none of you will take the initiative to ask your colleagues who did this, I will. Mr. Cruz, did you do it? I mean, I know you can't talk, so shake your head. Yes, no? Okay. Miss Kaylee? No? Did you? No? Okay. Mr. Lightfoot?
No, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Apple?
Presently not.
Mr. Lee?
Excuse me. It's inappropriate to be questioning these legislators of that way.
To ask them if they
Yes, it is.
used a derogatory word.
Because that's not part of public forum.
All right then, I would say if it's inappropriate for me to ask who said it, I would say it's even more inappropriate for anyone to say it. So just be a good person and step up and apologize.
Good evening, folks. Chris Hildebrand, Director of Advocacy at the Center for Disability Rights during the day. During the evening, once in a while I get home. I live in Dick Beaton's district. I guess tonight I want to talk a little about the things I've learned in life. And one of the things I actually learned, I think I was probably sitting right about here, and I learned that if I don't want something in the newspaper, it needs to never, ever, 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 ever come out of my mouth. I was here. Fortunately, all I said is I refer to legislators who don't represent the real interests of those that they represent as buggers. City newspaper the following week had that very direct quote. And fortunately, I can sit by those words. I don't mind that I said that. Not exactly how I wanted to be portrayed in the newspaper, but learn my lesson. It needs to not ever come out of my mouth if I don't want it in the newspaper, if I don't want it picked up by a hot microphone somewhere, if I don't want TV, if I don't want Fox National News to then appear in Rochester. So I learned to not say those things. One of the other things I've learned over the course of my life is that when I do something dumb, we all do it. We all say things, we all do things, we are human. We make mistakes. Things go away so much more easily if we admit them and we say we're sorry. I think, unfortunately, that's not what's happened here. And unfortunately, we had reached out to the county executive to take some leadership since nobody here was really exhibiting that leadership and publicly condoning the language outside of the letter, and nobody was apologizing, saying, that's not what we're about. This side, that's not what we're about. Since nobody did that publicly, we asked the county executive maybe to step in, and what we got back, particularly disappointing, among a list of disappointing letters I've received in the past week or two, Ms. Brooks says the language was unacceptable. Okay, great. Condemns the language, excuse me. So fairly supportive on that point, but kind of gets to the point of we need cooler heads to prevail. Talking about this in the press, talking about this publicly, not going to help. We need to